Hey, folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. This video is for Thursday, September 20th, 2012. My name is Gareth Soloway, Chief Market Strategist here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. All right, folks, let's get right into the mix here. What we're seeing is the market currently trading slightly lower on the day. Spiders down about 40, make that 35 cents right now as we're down ticking off the highs of the day. And you can see a clear little pivot area right here that the market is having a lot of trouble getting through. So again, this is your intraday 10-minute SPY chart, and noticing a few different keys. Number one, the market gapped below the 200 and below the pivot low from a couple days ago. Based off of that, what you can tell is the market was going to be weak for the first 30 minutes or so. And again, when you have, well, this is what's called a river theory, and again, I can't go into it too much because it's proprietary here at InTheMoneyStocks.com, but whenever you gap below key levels like the 200 and a pivot low like this, that the market's kind of been trading in, and you can see this pivot low goes all the way back to this little pivot right here, the market in general will be weak, at least in the short term, and then once the volume lightens up into the midday session, it'll float back off its lows, especially in this environment right now. But bottom line is, again, markets are slightly down 30 cents on the SPY, S&P 500 down 4, NASDAQ down about 12, Dow is down about 10 points. Couple keys to go over. All right, notice how the market recaptured the low from Tuesday, and this is the Tuesday low, right? So again, that was important. Notice again, you recaptured it, and then, even more importantly, you retested, bounced, retested, closed below. That's not a breakdown, never confirmed, and then bounced again. Now you're consolidating. This is actually known to be a bullish consolidation pattern, although it's a little tricky bit of, you wouldn't necessarily play it. And the reason I say that is mainly because the markets right now are kind of struggling with the 50 MA in this pivot top. So again, it's a little tricky to jump on the long side here when you have so much resistance right here and a support line right here. Now there's a lot of support, but there's also a lot of resistance. So it kind of keeps us in our motion of being aware of what's going on here. The chart signals, I mean, you even have a bullish consolidation pattern here. But again, it just doesn't fit my criteria. A couple other things to watch. You want to know how you knew the low of the day was going to be right there, that there was a good chance that that was going to be the low? Take a look at this, guys. I think this will blow your mind. Zoom out, zoom out. Take that first pivot high going back to Fed Day last Thursday. Connect it to the recent pivot low right here. Draw it right through. Look at that. So that pivot high to this, to this. Awesome. And again, that basically tells you you're still in a little bit of a choppy trend and the market still is bouncing. If this line gets broken, that's when the downside should pick up in momentum. You should see very, very quick downside there. All right? So that's what we're seeing. Analyzing these charts right now, just scanning through. Markets again continuing to chop around. We're starting to float up a little bit again. And again, this is really why you have bullish and bearish signals here. You got to be a little bit on the careful side as you're coming into a little resistance. Dollar having a big day today. And again, dollar beautiful move here on the UUP. The UUP is gapped above this key resistance level, although it has pulled back into it. So the question is, can that hold? And that's going to be the big thing we'll be watching here over the next couple days. A couple other factors here. Gold today, GLD just down 28 cents. Was down more earlier in the day when the dollar was stronger, but not anymore. SLV trading flat on the day as well after being down much, much more. USO, which has been pummeled lately, getting a small bounce, but it is still below the 50 MA. So as far as I'm concerned, this could be the beginnings of bearish consolidation. Needs a few more days in the cooker, but again, could be in the process of being made. My next support on the USO that I think will be firm would be right here at around the 3260 level, 3250, 3260 level. Stocks in motion today. What's in motion? How's Apple doing? Apple continues to trade off its lows, only down 270 on the day. And again, market tried to sell sharply today, just doesn't have enough volume. We've barely done, let's see, basically, let me just see the volume on the spiders, 89 million. So we'll do a little bit more volume than the last couple days, but not much at all. Apple was down as much as close to $7-8 on the day, and then it's come back to just be down $2.70. There's nothing there on a daily chart that I see that intrigues me aside from a weak stock, but notice on the intraday of Apple, you are coming up into the 50 MA right now and pushing into that. All right, so next up, let's take a look at JP Morgan Chase intraday. JPM also into the 50s. So the 50s kind of being a little bit of resistance on a lot of the key players. If this breaks, though, and I want to say this on Apple and on JPM, they're together. So when one breaks, you expect the other to break. When they break, you should see a nice pop. Okay? So we'll watch very closely on that. Goldman Sachs down $1.83 today. Goldman a lot weaker than JPM. You could even make a case you have a nice little trend line here that continues to kind of be held up. Connect these pivot lows right through. You have the 20 MA right there. It's kind of holding right on that. If that breaks, you're going back to the lows on Goldman Sachs, back to the lows. So keep an eye on that this afternoon as well. A nice little trend line in the making. First Solar is down 65 cents. IBM's down 83 cents. Let's take a look at that IBM intraday chart, see if there's anything there. By the way, folks, in the meantime, while we're waiting for this chart to pop up, don't forget to come join us at InTheMoneyStocks.com. That's InTheMoneyStocks.com. 7-day free trial to our services. You have the Research Center, which is for swing traders and investors, and the Intraday Stock Chat, which is for day traders. Nice little double bottom on IBM. In fact, you could even call it a triple bottom here. Look at that. So you draw that line straight across, and you have a perfect trend line. Very nice on IBM. Hit it here, perfect double bottom, big bounce. Hit it here again. Look at the size of that bounce. Wow. That is a very solid bounce on IBM here on an intraday basis. Other stocks in motion. Chevron's having a great day. Google's up a little bit. Google still has not hit my master level of resistance, which again, I will be trading once it hits. I'm not going to talk about it today, though. You got to join us here to the Money Stocks if you want to know it. Intel down 2 cents. Research in motion down 24 cents. Amazon down $1.80 on the day. All right, going back to the spiders. Again, nice little pop here, right into the resistance again, 50 MA. And notice how that's hitting the 50 MA just like JPM and Apple are. The market is controlled by big stocks like Apple and JPM. It's just the way it is. So always remember that, guys. On that note, folks, I'm going to step aside here. Market again, next resistance, and you're pushing through. If you're going to come up here, gap fill and 200 MA is your shortable level. If you can get there, that's your level to look for a short. Spiders, beautiful push right now. Beautiful, beautiful push, as they are almost back to the flat line. I will be looking for a scalp short on a pierce of gap fill to the 200 on an intraday basis. Take care. Come join us here at InTheMoneyStocks.com.